Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode 2 of our second season. Yeah, we're happy you're here. Before we get started, as always, follow us on social media, like, subscribe, ring that bell, follow the podcast, leave us ratings and reviews there, all that good internet stuff that everybody's always asking you to do. It really helps us out. And without further ado, let's go ahead and dive on in to tonight's episode. Last time, the party ended the vampiric reign of Lady Katerina Dragomir, but unfortunately failed to find a good lead on their quarry, Dagrin Brightshield. After returning to the Brightshield estate to recuperate and plan their next steps, Bowmin received a letter from the party's old ally, Rose Wilmington, asking him and the rest of the party to travel to Candlekeep, where she awaits them with a book written by a Brightshield. A book that apparently has some strange properties. We join the party aboard a train departing to bring them to Candlekeep. So, the train voyage is going to take 2 days. Artemis has booked a whole luxury car in the train for you all. Still, it's still a train, right? It's not super luxurious space, but it's private and it's nice. It's just, a little cramped. So with that, you've got 2 days. Is there anything anyone wants to do during the 2 days journey to Candlekeep?
Wow.
Matt, Artemis.
Matt appears on the train. Artie's gonna spend the majority of the first day sitting by the window, reading the journal that Bowmin handed him.
Yeah.
His father's journal.
Yeah. As you read through the journal, yes, this is the journal of Earl Roderick Brightshield. And as you're sort of flipping through the earlier sections, it's kind of mostly he writes about raising you and Dagrin to support the Brightshield lineage, to bring honor to the Brightshield name, to one day reclaim the Brightshield throne, the Brightshield ability, to one day return the Brightshield kingdom of Oikos, to reclaim the sword that had gone missing so many years ago. He writes about his disappointments particularly with how you turned out, Artemis, with your rebellious nature, with your running from the responsibilities of the family name in his eyes, at the very least. But as this is, going to take most of the 2 days to sort of skimming through. As you approach further in, closer to the end, you find that he starts writing about concerns with Dagrin's behavior recently. Dagrin has seemed to grow more cruel recently. Dagrin has seemed to grow more erratic recently. And he writes in his last entry that he overheard Dagrin communing with what he assumes is some fiendish entity. He was unable to discover with whom Dagrin was communing, but with a dangerous entity of some sort. And he writes in this last entry that Silver Flame, I know you've never spoken directly to me or my family in recent generations, but guide me now as I go to confront my wayward son, Barret.
Confronted.
And it is dated from the day before he died.
Interesting. Artemis will probably read over the section 2-3 times.
Yeah.
And then just stare out the window for a bit. And probably about then realize that subconsciously, the keen observer will note that Artemis has cut his hair. And it is quite similar in a fashion to a portrait of Roderick that hangs in Brightshield Manor, and he kind of doesn't realize until that moment, staring at himself in the reflection.
Great. Anybody else have anything they wanted to do during the train voyage?
I think Penny and I would be working on the book.
Yep.
Yeah, to get us into Candlekeep.
Yep. Very important. Very important. Yeah, you spend basically the whole 2 days sort of collecting your various notes from the case. A lot of this was published previously, and there was sort of a book version of your major news report that had come out in the aftermath. So you're basically going through and creating an annotated version with all sorts of editorial notes and that sort of thing, with the hope that would get you into camp. So yeah, you guys spend most of 2 days doing that. Anybody else?
Nyx has definitely matured past her. I don't necessarily need to rely on pickpocketing anymore, but that being said, I think I'm just gonna walk up and down the train, and pretty much whenever anyone leaves like their area, I'm gonna just dig through the cushions and see what I can find. So I'm not like actively stealing from people. They left this behind, and therefore I can morally take it.
They're coming
Sure.
back.
Sure.
Amazing.
Okay, go ahead and are you trying to be secretive about this?
I mean, I'm waiting until there's like nobody. Like I'm thinking like train compartment.
Okay.
Whenever that's empty,
Okay.
or like dining car, whenever a table
Sure.
gets
Do you
up.
but are you trying to make sure that you're not being seen by other people?
I guess
entering?
so.
So roll a stealth check first.
Well, that's a natural 20. So that's
Great. You were
32.
unobserved. Then go ahead and make investigation check for me.
14.
We'll say you've got 2 days. Are you doing this like both days?
I went on board. Yeah.
Okay. We'll say that in total, with loose change and left behind items that you will be able to resell, we'll say you were able to get a total of like 100 talents out of this.
Cool.
Great. Nobody else has anything?
Bowmin is just training Lucky on it on the train car.
Great. Jinarra, anything? Or
Jinarra's just keeping an eye on things. I'll summon Little Flower so that Little Flower can keep Artie company if Artie, my little dog with wings.
There's so many dogs.
I know.
Great. So, train voyages first south from what used to be Cormier around the mountains nearby, and then travels west through rolling fields, outcroppings of trees, some hills to the south you see as you are approaching the last leg of your journey, till eventually the train arrives in a small village at just outside of Candlekeep. The village is at the base of a narrow peninsula that slopes upward towards a massive keep. Walls surround an abundance of towers, which look like nothing more than a birthday cake laden with far too many candles. Around you in this small village, mostly 1 or 2 story simple homes and businesses as you exit the train station. You see that there are all sorts of vendors out in the street hawking their wares, shouting in a variety of languages. All of them something along the lines of, got books for you right here. I swear this book is not in the library. If you want access to Candlekeep, just stop right on by this stall here. I got plenty of books that aren't in the collection, sell them for a reasonable price, get you right in through the front doors. Most people that are departing the train with you, which indeed, you are not alone among the group of people departing to go visit Candlekeep. There are very, very few that are convinced by these street vendors, but there are a handful of folks who go to the street vendors. It is, I would say, probably early afternoon at this point in the day. Maybe probably like 3 o'clock. It's not early afternoon, but sort of right in the middle of afternoon. And some people are sort of looking at the time and then deciding to like check into one of the inns in this small village nearby. Do you all want to take some time here now, or do you want to proceed straight up the lane towards Candlekeep?
Are you guys done with your writing? Or do you need more time?
Oh yeah, we were done in the first hour of the trip.
Yep.
Why didn't you guys say anything?
We were editing.
So
Are you
done
done,
editing?
Eddie?
Yeah.
It's in decent shape. I mean,
Yeah.
given
get
the
you in.
time, I would edit forever.
I don't know,
Are
do we need
meeting? Are we meeting Miss Wilmington?
Miss
Is
Wilmington?
Is there a way to send her a message or something to let her know we're here?
I can I can see if I can get contact with her. But from what I understand, she'll probably meet us at Candlekeep.
So we have to get in.
I believe she's currently in Candlekeep right now, so yes.
Well, I mean, we might as well try to get in now in case we can't.
Yeah, can we leave and come back sort of deal?
I
don't
don't know.
Maybe we'll ask when we
Can I make like a history check?
Yeah, make a history check.
I don't have my dice. Can someone roll for me?
All right, ready?
And I'll add my history.
All right, Zuzu, you got a 15 on the die.
+2.
17. Okay, so with a 17, you would know that if you left Candlekeep, so with a 17, you know that Candlekeep has lodging on property. You know that if you leave Candlekeep, you will have to present a new book to get back in.
Jesus. What if you work
Yikes.
there? Jesus.
I do have my fan fiction of us on standby, so in case of emergencies, I have
What?
6 copies of it.
What is a fan fiction?
Well, I did mine in a graphic novel illustrative version, and it's just
Okay.
like about our journey together.
Okay.
Can I see?
Well, yeah, I have 6 copies, and I'll distribute them before we go in, so that if we're separated, we all have a way to come back in.
But can I see now?
I'll distribute it so you don't lose it.
I just want to make sure you made me look good.
I did.
All right, great. It's valid.
Are you the main character, Penny?
We're all the main characters. We each have like a different POV perspective.
like chapter by chapter.
Yeah,
That's cool.
it's pretty good.
How do you write our POVs?
Right, art POV. Well,
Like,
yeah,
very-
well, you see, so it's through their perspective, but you're looking at them. You know what I mean?
But
So it's
like,
not like
how-
a third,
Yeah.
it's not like a first person while you're like in the thing. You're watching them
Oh,
live their story.
Okay.
And I did like some
Oh,
slight
okay.
embellishments to the stories to make it a little more interesting.
Gotcha.
Oh, slight.
I was wondering if you had like weird scrying abilities that we didn't know
No.
about. that
No,
you were
I-
using on us.
No, but I did just learn the message spell, so
Okay, that's helpful.
Yeah.
Oh no. Is anyone watching us as we hang around? Just
Make
in
a-
general, just
Make a perception check.
a lot. What is that? 23.
23. Most people aren't. You do see every once in a while somebody looks over and they walk by and then they do kind of a double take. And then like you overhear somebody say something like, "Aren't those the heroes that saved Waterdeep from that dragon?"
Oh, right, we're famous.
Yeah, nobody seems to be paying you undue attention, but given the fact that you very publicly saved Waterdeep from an ancient red dragon, you
Right.
do see some people are recognizing you.
So just like someone watching us is no longer a sign for us. We just
Right.
got fans.
Right.
Well, I've always had fans. But
Yeah, nobody's like come up to approach you yet, but there are like a few people who like, oh goodness. And then actually to that point too, Artemis, like right up until like 6-10 days ago, you were like putting on concerts and you just had
my
like
God, that's right.
several new phonograph albums hit the
That's right, I'm
market.
Harry
So some
Styles.
people are looking over like, oh my God, is that Artemis and his friends, I guess, as well. So you all are
Artemis
catching,
and his friends, I guess.
you all are catching attention for 2 different reasons. Number one, because you saved the largest by population city in the known world from being destroyed by an ancient red dragon. That's thing number one. Thing number 2, Artemis, you are a famous musician.
All right.
But
we should get moving.
So as you all leave town, you start making your way up a narrow, winding lane called the Way of the Lion, which leads you closer and closer to the imposing, vast repository of knowledge that is Candlekeep. You, on the road up to the front doors, you pass by other hopeful entrants, as well as some disgruntled folks heading in the opposite direction, clearly having been turned away for not presenting an adequate entry fee. It takes about an hour to climb up the hill to arrive, but eventually you arrive at the imposing front gates of Candlekeep, which are these two enormous black metal doors that are closed. And outside the gates, you see 5 people dressed in purple robes, and each of them are in conversation with a group or with an individual seeking entry into Candlekeep. The closest one to you seems to be getting pretty close to the end of her conversation. This is a tall half-orc woman. She looks maybe about 30 or so, sort of dark hair, about an inch shorter than Bowmin, so pretty tall. Her purple robes. And she's talking with an older gentleman who is going, "This is outrageous! This book I was guaranteed would not be in your collection!" And then the woman says, "I understand your frustration, sir, as I have tried explaining to you multiple times. The people in the village at the bottom of the hill selling those books are scam artists. They have no idea what we have in here. They keep trying to sell, dribble to make a quick buck to get people into Candlekeep. I'm really sorry about the inconvenience, but unfortunately, this book, The Very Hungry Caterpillar, will not get you into Candlekeep."
Darn.
But I was told. I know. I'm so sorry, sir. But I'm
It's
afraid
heartbreaking.
there are other people waiting to seek entry. I would advise you to return to the village and ask the person who sold you that book for more money back. Okay?
Does this guy look like really sad?
He
Like
looks-
economically?
He looks angry more than anything.
Okay. I don't care about him then.
"God, this is outrageous!" But he turns around and stalks away. The half-orc woman sighs, sort of rubs her temple, looks up at you all and says, "All right, next, right over here."
Hi.
Hello.
Welcome to Candlekeep. My name is Sutha. I am one of the avowed, and it is my privilege to judge your worthiness to enter Candlekeep. Do you all know how entrance into Candlekeep works?
Yes.
Yes.
And I'll hand over the manuscript or whatever we want to call it.
We're all together
Yeah.
in
we
tandem.
In
Thank-
tandem. Oh yes, I was reading that. I think we have this book in our collection.
I would give that
No, I
another
don't
look
think
if I
so.
were you.
She opens up, starts flipping through. Oh, an annotated edition. I see.
Wait a second. That was already the regular like newspaper article was already in there?
Yes.
Who brought that?
Someone came by the day it was published and presented it.
I feel like copyright should be an issue there, but whatever. Anyways.
Like there has to be, sorry, quick aside, there has to be a whole like market
Like
of just
authors
people
come with their
waiting.
stuff.
Yeah.
Like the
This,
moment
ooh, we
that
could dig into this.
things
This
hit
is a
the
whole
press.
thing.
Yeah. As you all are sort of talking about this a little bit, and as she's perusing the book, she's like, yes, it's become more difficult in the last century or so as the mass printing press has really exploded. There's more new books coming out every year than we can keep up with. So more people are being let in than usual, which is good. But also there's a lot for us to handle, but
Have you ever had two people present the same book at the same time?
I was not present for it, but yes, that did happen 3 or 4 months ago, actually.
That
So-
is traumatizing.
if you're glad that more people are getting in, why don't you just, because there's more stuff, why not just get rid of the like requirement?
That's not my decision to make.
Well, sure.
That
Is
all
there a comment box anywhere around here?
Yeah.
if you have the privilege of speaking to one of the great readers, or perhaps even the first reader or the keeper of tomes, you could certainly pass that feedback on.
Great.
After perusing this tome, I think the annotated notes in here will add something valuable to the collection. I thank you, Miss Presswell and Miss Barret, for annotating your work. This will prove very an interesting addition to the collections. You may enter Candlekeep. It looks like there is one other group who has gained entry, so if you will wait just one moment, we will open the gate for you. And you see that as you approach, there's another group. It looks like they're sort of it's like a halfling family, a small halfling family has just turned over this like big, like tall and wide, like dark red, leather bound tome. That like
There and back again?
I don't know what you're talking about. That's definitely not the Red Book of the West Marches. But anyway,
Imagine.
so anyway, as you and these halflings sort of approach the metal doors, they open up, and you all are admitted into the Court of Air, which is the front entry area of Candlekeep. And I should send you a map of what the Court of Air has.
Oh, it's big enough for a map.
Yes, you can look at it. But you enter into this very nice, like well-paved, sort of cobblestone area. You see, like right as you enter, there's this. You're stopped. Both you and the halfling family are stopped by another pair of avowed who come forward and say, "Greetings, welcome to Candlekeep. The Court of Air is here for all your needs. We would recommend that if you are planning on staying for any extended period of time, you first check into rooms at the House of Rest, and then you can enjoy meals and drinks at the hearth. If you have any needs for book binding services, you may go to the House of the Binder. And there are other services in the Court of Air as well that you are welcome to avail yourself of while you are here at Candlekeep. Additionally, while you are here at Candlekeep, you must all agree to follow the orders of accordance in order to prevent misconduct. Violation of these orders may result in punishment up to and including banishment from Candlekeep, Rules are as follows. No fighting. All arguments must follow the rules of cordial debate and discussion. Violent altercations are not tolerated. No stealing. This rule applies to all objects in the keep, not just the library's works. No copying. You are permitted to take notes while studying the library's works, but if you want a full copy, you must pay to have the manuscript created by scribes at the house of the binder. No damaging, marking, or otherwise modifying the works in the library. This rule doesn't apply to privately owned collections. So anything that you brought yourself, you are more than welcome to mark. But anything in our collections, no marking, no damaging, no modifying. Understood? Yes.
What if, and I don't think this is, just hypothetically, what if we needed to change the thing that we brought to Candlekeep that somebody in our party wrote? Is that okay?
The book that you submitted, if it has marks in it, those marks will be viewed and discussed by the great readers before they officially enter the collection. So if those marks are thought to lend additional whatever, additional value, additional knowledge, additional etc. to the book, then they will be left in, otherwise they will be cleaned, but that obviously won't prevent you from enjoying the collection, because when you marked in it, it was privately owned.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, yes.
Okay. Any other questions? Enjoy Candlekeep. And if once you are ready to begin browsing the collections, you can head over to the Pillars of Pedagogy, and you will be assigned an avowed seeker who can help you find the books that you need for your research subjects. Enjoy.
So we can't go looking for the books. Someone looks for the books for us.
Unless you have special dispensation from one of the great readers, no, you may not access the inner wards of the library where the bulk of the collection is kept.
Great. We will make sure to get that special thing.
Very well.
I would like to request that.
Well,
I would also like to request that.
okay.
Yeah,
Well,
so 2 requests.
good luck then.
How do we do that?
Oh, how do we request it? Is it not with you?
No, it's not with me.
Oh,
The avowed seekers are more than capable of bringing you books on any topic that you wish them to bring you. If you have specific book requests in mind, you may ask for specific books. We don't tend to allow outsiders into the inner wards of the library because a lot of the tomes are very, very old, very, very fragile, and we want to preserve those books. So that is why we typically have the avowed handle the books and bring them to you, as opposed to having you go randomly browsing in the inner library itself.
I completely agree, and I will be very careful when I do so. Where can I find these readers?
They sometimes come out into the court of air if there's business that they need to attend to. They will release special dispensation to explore the inner library on an as needed basis. Typically, if you do something helpful for them, then they may, I don't know if they will, but that's how it sometimes happens.
All right, I'll work with that.
So we have to go on a quest.
Or can you just summon them?
No. They're very busy.
All right, I will get them then. Where are they?
Usually in the inner library, but as I say, they sometimes come out into the court of air to conduct business.
If you see one, please tell them Artemis Brightshield, Earl Artemis Brightshield, needs to speak with them.
Certainly. Are you the same Artemis Brightshield that are you the musician?
Perhaps.
He's being unusually modest.
You're right, it's unbecoming. I am.
Will you be staying here long?
I will. I don't want to pay another book.
Very well. I might flag you down to sign an album cover for me.
I would be very happy to do so, especially if you brought one of those readers with you.
I will for sure put in a good word.
Fantastic.
see
And
what
good
I-
words for all of my friends. They're with me too.
Yes, absolutely.
Thank you. What is your name again?
Thomas.
Thomas, it has been a pleasure, a treat, and an honor. Shake his hand. You said something about a drink, I believe, somewhere.
Yes, and the halfling family has already left at this point, by the way. They are long gone. But he points over in the direction of the hearth, which is one of the buildings along sort of the south wall of the Court of Air.
Wonderful.
Um,
Anyone have any other questions?
We should
We
make
should-
sure we have a place to sleep just in case.
Yeah,
this
we
takes a
should
while.
go
Yeah.
do reservations.
So, how's the
Thank you,
rest
Thomas.
first?
Thank you.
Bowmin,
Yeah,
perhaps
nice
you
meeting
want- You'd like to contact Rose at this point?
We
yes.
think she's within 120 feet.
You
Give it a
try.
whirl.
I think I have to see her, right?
You don't have to see her. You just have
For
to be within
message?
range and in the right direction.
So just spin in a circle.
Okay, I'll do that. I'll spin in a circle while I try to talk to Rose.
Are you guys just like standing still by the entrance, or are you making your way towards the house?
No,
of Rest
we've
and the
walked
Hearth?
in.
Okay.
We've walked in.
We're in the middle of the empty open space.
We're standing right
Artie's
in the doorway.
demanding a
No one's
great
looking.
Artie's demanding the manager at the entrance.
I'm going ahead and getting us each a room. A room
I'll
for each
follow
of us.
Okay.
Jinarra while trying to contact Rose in my brain.
I'm just gonna look for Rose.
Okay.
The old-fashioned way.
No.
Sure. Penny. Well, I guess let me just roll. See if you
I have it as a cantrip, so I'm
are
just gonna
sending
keep
the
walking
message
and doing
in
it.
the right time.
Can you hear me
I'm
now?
spinning. I'm
Can you hear
spinning
me now?
around.
Can you hear me now?
Eventually, what's the message? What message are you sending over and over and over again?
It's just Rose, 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 Rose.
Rose, Rose, this is Penny. We are here. Where are you? Rose, this is Penny. We are here. Where are you? Rose, this is Penny. I'm the redheaded one, if you don't remember. Where are you?
As you're spinning and slowly making your way towards the hearth and the house of rest, midway through one of the messages that you're sending in the wrong direction, you get a response from the right direction. Rose says, "Oh, you all are here. Great. Yeah, I'm currently in the hearth."
Guys, Rose is in my brain. She's at the hearth.
Bowmin books it. Full on sprint.
Great.
I didn't know he had that much energy.
What's
Clearly would never
Bowman's-
get that excited with any of us.
What is Bowman's movement speed? And can I
30.
beat it?
It's 30.
I cannot beat it.
I'm a little hurt. Has he ever run that fast for any of us?
No, he's literally obsessed with this
Like
girl.
dragons included.
No.
Does he ever?
Before we get to the hearth, Jinarra, you go to the house of rest.
Yeah.
This is sort of a 3-story bunk house, a small inn, type building.
Is anyone going with you?
I'll go with her.
Okay, yeah, no one goes alone.
Yeah, great. So you both approach this inn. You enter into the into the building. It's this sort of a very rustic style building. You know, lots of wood elements in here. There's a counter and big, you know, book at the counter, and sort of an older woman sort of looks up as you enter and says, "Hello, how may I help you?"
I'd like to book lodging for 6 of us.
Very well. Do you all need private rooms, or would you like to stay in the common bunk area?
Private rooms would be preferable.
Very well. I actually just got back a key for one of the magnificent mansion doorways, so here you are.
Great.
And that will be, and she like grabs the book and she flips through to try to find you know, how much to charge you for this room, and then finally arrives. Yes, how long will you be staying? We can charge on a per night basis if that is easier.
Yeah, let's do that.
That'd be good.
Very well, very well. And you said there were 6 of you?
Yes.
Very well, very well. That will be 20 talents.
Okay.
Oh,
A night
Great.
or per person?
A night.
For a
Jesus.
mansion?
We
let's
live
buy-
here.
Yeah, let's buy this place.
Yeah.
We're gonna own
We're never
Candlekeep.
leaving.
She gives you the key. Very well. If you go up to the 3rd floor, you will find your room up there. Very end of the hall, room 333.
Okay.
Hard to forget that's on the 3rd floor. And keep room 333. Wait, do we all have one room?
It's
I think
It's a
like
magical
suite.
door.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, it's a suite. So if the two of you go up to investigate,
Sure.
I can explain it to you now, or you can wait until later. It's up to you.
Yeah, let's go investigate.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's say we grabbed people's luggage
Yeah,
and
yeah.
stuff and we're dropping it.
Wait, did we bring luggage?
Well, I
Such a good
assume we have a
question.
change of clothes.
Y'all been changing?
You the two of you go up to the 3rd floor, you find 333. The lock is in the center of the door, which is weird. As you put the lock in and turn, there's sort of a flash of light around the edges of the door frame. And as you open the door, you enter into a space that should not be able to fit inside the building that you were in. You enter into a large entrance foyer, still very much in the same like rustic style as the rest of the building. But you see there's like as you go into this like suite, there's a doorway off to the side that has like a dining room and a kitchenette. And then there are 6 bedrooms and a master bath for each of the 6 bedrooms. It's very nice in here, as well as like a small study area as well.
Okay. This will do.
$20 a night. Yeah.
Yeah, $20 a night for a magnificent mansion. Just let you know how much Candlekeep cares about the people coming to visit.
They only care about books.
Yeah. The rest of you make your way over to the hearth. As you approach, this is sort of a modest tavern. Looks very sturdy, but modest. And you see, pair of small windows on either side of the front door, letting out some, orange glowing light from the interior. As you open the doors and go inside, you find that this is bigger on the inside than it is on the outside. It's, as you look around, you're like, well, this is at least triple the size I was expecting it to be. As you sort of look around this room, you see that there's a long bar, very long bar, with 10 people sort of at the bar, like with drinks, and still room for plenty more, as well as scattered throughout the room, tables and chairs, some benches at some tables too, as well as soft armchairs in clusters, and particularly around this like large fireplace. Right above the bar, you see there's this like strange, intricate clockwork device glowing very slightly, embedded in the ceiling above the bar. And you also see like doorways off of this room into side rooms and stuff. But Bowmin, since you were running ahead, you were the first to enter. You look around and you spot Rose almost immediately. She is sitting in an armchair over by the fireplace with a black winged cat, a tressym, with her, sort of curled up on the arm of the chair as she is reading a book, but she looks up when the door enters and smiles wide when she sees you, and she waves you over. You're muted.
Damn it. In my calm manner, I am gasping for air, just catching my breath from running over here. But I walk over to where she is.
Yeah, she gives you a big hug when you see her. The rest of you enter as well, see Bowmin hugging Rose. She looks very much the same as you last saw her, short, very curly blonde hair. She's still wearing like very similar, heavy, like armored clothing that she was wearing as well. And she has a sword with her, but it doesn't appear like it's been drawn from its sheath recently. The only real difference is she has a very thin scar over her left eye now. But other than that, she seems fine. And I will go ahead and send y'all her character portrait for this.
Yes.
Ooh la la.
Why does she have a character portrait?
Because she's a character.
She's a major secondary character.
Interesting.
She's so cute. I mean,
I
she
like
was always
how
cute.
her
Right.
armored boots have high heeled.
That's
She's
impressive.
got to be fashionable.
Oh my god.
I'm just gonna point out that she and Artemis are wearing the same top in their design.
Aw, how cute.
Awkward. Ooh.
Incredible.
Rose, it's great to see you.
Hi, Bowmin. Hi, the rest of you. Artemis, Penny, thank you for the message. Octavia, where are Nyx and Jinarra?
They're getting us rooms.
Oh, great. Well, have a seat. Can I get you all something to eat or drink?
I'm fine. Why are you serving us? What do you mean you're gonna get us?
Oh, I
something?
was just gonna pay for your food. The bar will serve it.
No. We
Don't pay for us.
Don't pay for us.
We're rich.
I'll don't worry about that.
Yeah. I'll pay.
No.
for us.
I'll pay. Here we go.
I can.
No. And
I
I do
we're
like
not hungry,
I have
so it
a
doesn't
tab
matter.
open already. Just order what you want.
I'll go. I can get things for people. run off before getting people's orders.
Great. What do you come back with?
A variety of fruity drinks.
We got a
One-
hurricane, a
one
mojito.
one large big ale for Bowmin. Large big ale for Bowmin.
Mega pint.
Yeah, something pink and fruity. With that's like a little bit kind of sneaky for Penny.
Sneaky.
2 ciders, one for no, Artemis isn't a cider person. 2 ciders. We'll see who wants them. One for Nyx.
I do love a
And
good pear cider.
one for Octavia. And 3 glasses of the best Brightshield vintage.
Great. Yeah, you
Four.
come back with all these drinks. By this
4.
time, we'll say that Nyx and Jinarra have joined as well. And Artemis, when you return, Rose is clearly mid-story. And she says, so after, Bowmin and I parted ways, I joined up with a group of 3 other people. All of us were sort of looking to, find a way to get into Candlekeep. So, we'd heard these legends of this lost tome in an old abandoned Yuan Ti temple. So we sort of went into the temple, awoke some spirit nagas, and that's how I got this scar here, actually. But we made it out with the book and got in, and I've been here, ever since. The other 3 actually already left, but I just can't get enough of this place. Thanks for the drinks, Artemis. Did you put this on my tab, right?
Yes.
Great.
Artie, you didn't get nachos.
You're very right. Sorry. I'm gonna go get appetizers.
Yeah, you go up, you put in orders for appetizers, you come back.
Nachos, chicken wings.
Yeah.
Pizza
The bartender lets you know that they'll be delivered over to your area. It gives you a little sign with a number on it that you can put down.
Great.
How
are you? I'm gonna linger at the bar for a little bit.
Did you just ask me how I am?
Yeah. How are you doing?
I'm fine.
Good. Are you busy today? You're always this busy.
This is about average.
Yeah, I don't know.
Is there anything else I can help you with? I do have other orders to take. So
just absolutely go take care of them, and I will wait for the.
We'll deliver it to your spot.
You're right.
Take the number with you and go.
As Artemis is rambling on, Bowman's gonna come behind him and just be like, Artemis, I don't know what's going on.
Sorry.
Hi. But I would like to remind you, the only reason we came here is because Rose found a book that was related to your name. So
You're right.
We should. You have to talk to her eventually.
As wise as ever, Mr. Bowmin. Thank you. Yes.
So let's go back.
Go.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
As the 2 of you are returning, Rose is saying, so what have you all been up to recently?
Not much.
We've we fought a dragon, and then we've been
Well, I was there for the dragon bit.
yeah. And then, but like I was just saying, since then, like not much has measured up to fighting a dragon.
Well, even so, what's been happening?
We did kill a vampire.
Well, that's true.
That's pretty impressive.
You killed 3, actually.
Oh right. Oh,
2
mama
like
boys.
Yeah, that was kind of upsetting, actually.
Not because We liked both of them. The
I
way
mean, they did
acted
like
was
eat
upsetting.
people, so
Yeah.
Did they eat people or did they just drink their blood?
what's the difference?
I think there's a big difference.
Oh yeah.
I do.
Is
That's
there?
beside the point. I think so.
Well,
is
this
a
gets into a whole conversation about what counts as cannibalism.
Yeah.
It's more of
Yeah,
a,
that's true.
yeah. Interesting point, Bowmin.
I don't think it's cannibalism if you don't use your teeth.
Well, they
But
do
they do
use
use
it.
their
They
So they
do
did
use
use
their
No,
it.
not if you're drinking.
Yeah, but
How
they
do you
have
But
think
to
they
like.
puncture the
Right.
neck.
Ah, I see what you're
That's why
saying.
they've got the sharp
Straws.
fangs.
They didn't go, "Hey, can I drink your blood?" And they were
My
like,
brother slaughtered
yeah,
all of
sure.
our family's workers.
Oh my god.
"Ha! Ah,
Sorry. We've
Oh
been
my
busy.
gods.
So that's why you saying that you found something with his name on it was interesting.
Artemis,
He's missing.
I'm sorry. I'm really sorry to hear that. I can't imagine what must be going through your head right now.
It's weird. Very weird.
I can imagine.
So we are looking for him, and he might be in a place that's hard to get to. So hopefully, I mean, no pressure, but we have no leads, like zero. If your book doesn't have anything, we are shit out of fucking luck. But hey, do you think your book has an idea where what's the title of the book?
Yeah. Yes. Let me tell you what I found. So Rose takes a minute. Takes success. So I guess it started about a month ago. I was, spending some time in the Towers of Pedagogy like everybody else. I had them bring me a bunch of books, but I just wanted to step out and get, stretch my legs, get some air. And I found a door that I hadn't noticed before. I opened it up and discovered that it was an extra-dimensional space that the library had lost track of. I brought it to the attention of the Avowed and helped them secure and catalog the room. And as thanks, one of the great readers, Tellus Voste, wrote me permission to enter the inner wards of Candlekeep. Great, exciting honor. So I was exploring, the stacks in one of the many towers one day, and I stumbled across a journal written by someone named Jason Brightshield.
Jason?
Okay.
That's canon. Artemis says that.
Yeah, Jason. It is kind of an odd name, but some of the other names in the book are odd too. And Artemis is kind of an unusual name while we're at it.
Yeah, okay, all right. We can move on.
It's the diary of a Jason Brightshield. If you want, I can give you a brief summary of the contents, though I'm sure you'd love to read it yourself.
Your summary will be great, I'm sure.
So, Jason, this was written based on the dates. Based on the dates, a little over 500 years ago, 600 maybe. Between 500 and 600 years ago. He begins the. For the record, Jason liked the Argonauts because oikos is a Greek word, so
Thank you. I
everything there
appreciate it.
has Greek names.
Sorry, come on, our chat's blowing up.
Jason Derulo.
Anyway, I know we all think Jason is just the name of like some guy nowadays, but that is the name of one of the most famous Greek heroes.
Jason of the Golden Fleece.
Yes.
I read Percy Jackson.
Congratulations. I'm so excited about the show. So excited about the show.
If you would like to sponsor the show, please let us know.
Yeah, hey,
Yeah.
Rick Reardon.
Ricky.
Anyway. Jason, the journal is about his pilgrimage. He writes about it sounds like from his writing that it was a tradition in the kingdom he came from called oikos, where the children of the king would set out on a pilgrimage around the world to learn more about the world when they turned 18. But it seems like there was some drama involved with his departure. I guess it was typically only for the eldest child of the monarch, as a sign that the eldest child would assume the throne. But Jason was the younger of the two. And his older sister, Ariadne, had not been sent out on the pilgrimage. Instead, he writes that she had some health affliction that made it impractical for her to leave on the pilgrimage, as would have been tradition. And apparently Ariadne's condition and the death of their mother had led some religious figures to claim that the god the kingdom worshipped, the silver flame, had abandoned the royal family. So I guess things were pretty tense when he was sent out on the pilgrimage. And there was some speculation that him being sent out was a sign that perhaps his father, King Apollo, Brightshield III, would be skipping over his older sister for the throne. But he says that's not. He says that that's what most people think. And then he wrote that if only they knew how tense things were between him and his father, and how he felt like his father was merely sending him away on the pilgrimage to get him out of his hair. He also writes about a great distaste for his father's new advisor, a mage named Minos.
What? What's that name?
Minos, M-I-N-O-S. I don't know, it sounds like, based on what Jason was writing, his father had been instituting some new policies recently on the advice of this new advisor that both Jason disagreed with, and the populace was unpopular with the populace of the kingdom. But he went on the pilgrimage when his father sent him away, and a lot of the entries are just about his experiences, seeing new places and meeting new people and broadening his horizons. And it's not until near the end of the journal that he starts writing about something really strange. He writes about how people stopped reacting with recognition when he mentioned who he was or where he was from. No one had ever heard of the kingdom of Oikos, or its rulers, or the Silver Flame. And at first, the first couple stops, he sort of writes this strange that the name of the kingdom hasn't spread, but I suppose I'm far away from home. But then, as he goes to more and more places and finds that the name of nobody's heard of Oikos before, he starts getting more worried. And so he hurries back home and finds nothing but empty rolling fields where the city-state should be.
Oh.
And he asked it, places nearby, communities that had previously been just outside the borders of Oikos. Nobody had ever heard of such a place, or had heard of the Brightshield royal family. The only thing that anyone remembered from around the time that Jason first noticed people stopped recognizing Oikos. Around that time, people in the surrounding area reported a thick mist
Oh.
rolling into the area. The last pages of the journal, Jason vows to devote his life and devote his family line to discovering what happened to Oikos and recovering the lost kingdom. The very last page, he says that he's going to leave the journal in Candlekeep in the hopes that one day someone might come across the tome and figure out how to break the memory curse surrounding Oikos.
Memory curse.
And here's the weird part. I think this curse is still in effect. No one I talked to, I tried showing several different Avowed this book. They were able to read it and speak about it while they were actively reading it. But as soon as they stopped reading it, all memory of the contents disappeared from their mind.
Why can you remember it?
Yeah.
I don't know.
What about you?
I don't know.
Maybe it's because you have the book with you. Or you're just incredibly talented and very smart. And it's
But
not
all of
anything.
you seem to be retaining what I just told you about the book. And every other
because we
person I've
know-
explained this summary to has also forgotten it.
Either
Gross.
we're all
That was one
related,
time.
or it's
I'm saying maybe you're a relative relative, and then I was like, ooh, not that kind of relative. But then I was like, oh well, we all have it with Artie, so it makes sense. Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
It is just a
either
little-
Did I
we
miss
are all
something?
somehow
No.
related, or it's because we know a Brightshield.
yeah, maybe.
That's my theory.
Yeah, I mean, we have like a personal connection, fortunate or not, to a Brightshield, and that
Thank
is
you.
what is allowing us to retain this information.
Your guess is as good as mine.
I'm pretty sure I remember Artemis exists when I don't see him.
Yes, thank you for that.
Well, people know that Artemis exists, and people
That's
didn't
true.
forget. I mean, I don't know for sure, but based on the journal entries, it doesn't sound like people forgot Jason as soon as he left the room.
True.
It just seems like
Well, how would he know?
people can't retain memories of Oikos, of where he was from, of who his people were. There's some kind of curse surrounding that knowledge.
Where is Oikos?
Or was it?
No one knows.
No.
Well,
Oh, Rosemary.
Do you know?
good. Based on the travel log that the
Of course
that
she
the journal
knows.
is, it sounds like it was located between Cormyr and Aetolgar.
What was that?
Ooh,
last-
Matt's gonna need that one spelled.
Aetolgard, it doesn't exist anymore. It's part of the Sword Coast Federation now. But it was a kingdom, west of Cormyr, capital of El Terrell.
Can you
I'm
spell?
sending it in the group chat.
Ooh.
El
What's a group chat?
Tergard.
Oh, that's
Oh,
not how I
wow,
spelled
I
it.
got that wrong.
El Tergard.
I was doing an A at the time, at the beginning.
Yeah, I was doing
Um,
an AE, trying to be
yeah.
fancy.
But there was, it was a small city-state kingdom located somewhere in the land between Cormyr and El Tergard. There wasn't really another major civilization in that region at the time. The region fell under the spheres of influence of both El Tergard and Cormyr. But I guess before Oikos disappeared, the region probably fell under its sphere of influence.
So, was there any indication besides the mist of like, I don't know, where the people went,
Destruction.
or like whether there was like a god that was unhappy with this group? Like, did Jason, I guess, is it the curse from like the oldest daughter not being healthy enough? Like, what?
I'm not sure. Jason was gone for 2 years. So, what he writes about at the beginning, maybe some of that did influence what eventually happened to Oikos, but also a lot could happen in 2 years, and he was away from home the whole time and wasn't really, it didn't sound like what he was getting that many updates from home.
It's weird.
Yeah, I mean, well, you can't blame the guy. He wasn't home when things happened, so it's not really his fault, right? That
Sure.
things fell apart.
Right.
Well, he
it's
wasn't
not.
home.
It's
Yeah.
not
He
his
wasn't under
fault.
control.
It's
no,
not
it's
his
it's
fault.
out of his control. No.
Just I was just wondering if he like knew anything ahead of time.
If he did, he didn't write about it.
Ben,
Isn't that-
where is Brightshield Manor in relation to Cormyr and Eltergard?
Yeah,
Is it in
so
the same area or is it off a bit?
Brightshield Manor was located in sort of the western half of Cormyr.
Uh-huh.
So in relation to where Oikos likely was located, it would have been east of that.
Okay.
By a not insignificant amount of distance, but also not overly far. It wasn't like you were across the world from where Oikos used to be, but you also weren't like right in the vicinity of where it used to
Right.
be.
Okay, thanks.
So the mist also is a Ravenloft thing, right? I'm remembering that right.
That's what the vampire said, talked about mist.
Right.
Mm,
So the mist comes, you end up in Ravenloft. What if all of
Right.
Oikos is just in Ravenloft?
Hmm.
And that's why no one can remember it.
Been from the stories that let me get his name right because Barnabas Basil, Barney,
Mm.
my dude back home.
Yeah,
Um,
your new major domo.
My dude, yeah. My boy. Did he tell any stories about mist in the days leading up to it, or the dagger just killed everyone?
So that was not Barnabas Basil.
Oh, okay. The gate
The
person then.
the keeper, the groundskeeper who reported it, which hold on, let me
Oh, I think his name too.
I'm sure I have it written down here somewhere.
I'll be very impressed if you do.
I think his name was William. William was the one who was he was a groundskeeper. He was off property the night that your brother disappeared and that he committed all those murders. He did report a thick mist rolling in. And that is what made, because he was sort of superstitious about it, and he immediately jumped to your brothers in Ravenloft.
Ooh.
So we need to go into that mist.
We can
So,
find it.
yeah.
Well, there you've got a couple options. I mean, I still have the journal in the room in the Towers of Pedagogy that I've been using for, my reading. So if you want to peruse the journal yourself, you can go there, maybe see if you can get a copy of it bound, as well.
I'd like that.
So you can go there. I can also, I said I know one of the great readers, Tellus of Oste. He's the one who gave me access to the inner ward. I could probably arrange a chance for you all to speak to him. He is an expert on curses.
Helpful.
So, I mean, I doubt he'll be able to retain the knowledge of the book, though we can certainly try. But he may be able to figure out if we explain the nature of the curse or what we've been able to figure out about this curse. He might have some more insight on how it worked. And he may also, I don't think he's an expert on other planes of existence, but I'm sure one of the other great readers is. He may be able to connect you with another one of the great readers who knows more.
That would be wonderful. Rose, that would be great. I am very much in your debt.
Sure. I'll arrange that meeting. It's well into the evening now, but for tomorrow. Does that work?
Yes.
Sure.
Yes.
Great. Do you want to see the journal now? Or
Sure.
great. Come with me. Yeah, she leads you all, it's like 5:30, 6 o'clock ish now. You sort of head across the court of air to the towers of pedagogy.
I swing by the bar on the way out because I definitely didn't put that on her tab.
You have them put all the stuff on her tab, and then
I'm just gonna drop a platinum and walk out.
yeah, so then you will make your way across to the towers of pedagogy. As you approach, you are met by a pale moon elf individual, very calm looking, silvery hair, and they sort of look up at all of you and say, Miss Wilmington and friends, I assume. Rose just sort of nods and says, hello, Vushati. Just gonna go into my study room, if you don't mind. The elven individual nods and sort of leads you all to Rose's private study room, where she's got like piles of books on desks and tables and stuff. And Rose sort of digs through them and pulls out this black leather journal with sort of a flip strap to keep it closed. Very like worn, yellowed pages. As you open it and like start to try to turn the pages, you can feel they're very fragile because they're hundreds of years old at this point. But there it is, the journal.
Is there a date? in
Yeah.
there?
Yep, it's dated for let me double check that date for you real quick. I just want to make sure that I don't contradict myself later. If I even wrote down a date, I maybe didn't write down a date, which makes
Old as crap.
because I can just make something up. Okay, so it is dated for 1495 DR. You are currently in the year 2000 DR. So this is over 500 years old. The first date is 1495, the last date is 1497.
Sure.
Wow. They let you just take this?
Well, nobody remembers it, so
But it's very sneaky.
So, okay.
I mean, we can't walk out with this because there's magic that will make this appear back in the library.
Oh, okay.
So we
We'll
can't
never
leave
be able
the
to find it
premises
again.
with it, but we could have a copy made of it.
Or take really good notes.
Also an option.
And you haven't been able to find, even in your own, like, have you looked for any other books about Oikos?
I have looked, but let me put it this way. If nobody in the Avowed can remember that such a place exists, nobody can tell me where in the library it would be, which means that I'm wandering around dozens of towers, all filled to the brim with thousands upon thousands of books, hoping that I can find something that mentions Oikos.
Does the word Oikos, like, do they remember that word? And
What?
then not associate it with a place, or like?
They don't seem to remember the word.
Oh.
I mean, I can say it to them in a moment and they'll say, "What's that?" And I'll say, "It's a kingdom that nobody can remember." And they'll be like, what were we talking about?"
It's just instantly wiped.
So
Unless they're actively looking at the book, or I would suppose unless they were actively in Oikos, but I don't know, I'm guessing.
I have a really kind of a shitty question to ask of one of you. Could one of you leave the room for a bit and come right back in?
Yeah, sure.
I'll do it. I'll leave. I'm leaving.
I'm gonna go as well.
Okay, 2 of you leave the room. And then come back in.
Hi.
Hello,
Do you-
Artie.
Do you remember what we were talking about in here?
Yes, you said, "Will someone leave the room?" And everyone got quiet. And I said, "I will. I'll leave the room." And I left.
We were talking
Fantastic.
about Oikos.
Which reminds me of what I was going to say, which is this seems like Candlekeep is a very inefficient cataloging system. Because let me tell you, sure, they don't remember what the kingdom is, but they should know what the call number is for general kingdoms. Take you to that section and you should be able to browse. Sure, it'll take a couple days, but with 7 of us, and maybe if we get some great readers in the Avowed working on it, we should be able to find a book on Oikos. Or at least the general region.
Yeah, they can't even tell you like, oh, this area is about the part that's in between
I mean,
Cormier and
I've
Cormier.
read through a lot of the books on that general region. I just
From
haven't found
this time
anything
period?
on. I've been doing my best, but there's a lot. There's a
Right.
lot of books.
Have you?
I
There's
feel
We're
like
not
we
upset
in
with
there,
you.
we're just trying to like figure out what we have to focus on.
I'm
Let's
just
see if-
saying, I think if it were up to me, I would have done a little better job. But
Have you? Thank you, Miss Presswell.
I think put me in there and I can find it.
Have you noticed in researching like people skipping dates in their records of things? Like there are things that are supposed to be there, but just aren't there in the books anymore, like blank pages or.
Not as far as I've noticed. But so the other thing that complicates matters is the 1490s was a very turbulent period in the history of the region. The 1400s as a whole was a very turbulent period. I mean, the century sort of started with the gods losing their divinity for a hot minute there. And then
Shit, I should have paid attention at school.
At least you
then
got
the
to go to
last
school.
decade of the 1400s, there were so many calamities that happened back to back to back to back to back. From a cult trying to bring Tiamat back to the world, to giants running amok all over the north, to the entire city of El Terrell disappearing into the 9 hells, to, I mean, suffice it to say, there was a lot going on in that decade, which is what caused the Sword Coast Federation to be established to begin with. So the
Sorry, drop that.
the period is very turbulent. There's a lot written on it. As a result, there's also a lot of places where there are gaps in knowledge because of the turbulence.
Okay.
Miss Presswell, Penny, if you would, we're on a first name basis, right?
I figured we have been.
Yeah, for sure.
You've never called me Miss Presswell since maybe like the second day we've met, or if you're trying to pull a prank on me, or that time you proposed to me.
Let's not talk about that now.
Okay.
Oh, Rose, did you hear about that?
No,
my
but it
God.
sounds like quite the story.
Anyways, what,
A lot of
Artie?
things about. Would you be willing to spend a few days or not too much? I would be willing to pay you for it if that would be necessary to use this card catalog system thing that you were talking about and see if you can find a book.
I can try my best.
That would be wonderful.
Also, what about me screams, please give me money?
No, that is not. I just. All of
I'm
you
rich
have.
now,
All of
Artie.
you are doing. All of you are doing a lot for me, and just in case it was needed. I'm just throwing it out there.
I think that we should all get some rest and prepare for a long day of reading tomorrow.
Miss Presswell. While we're hanging back, what if we
Yeah.
He calls you Miss Presswell.
I can't get him to stop. He hates me.
I do not hate you for one.
If it was me and Rose Wilmington in a room and someone said, I have to kill one of them, but you can save one, just tell me which one, who would you pick, Bowmin?
Okay.
We'd say both.
No,
would
you
say-
can't. It's just one.
I would save myself for one, just saying, because I'm also in that room.
Oh my
So,
God.
anyways,
Well,
you got that
so
fan fiction that I couldn't fall asleep last night. I've been wanting to read something while we
Yes, and I have 6 different versions just in case all of us got taken out of Candlekeep for some reason and needed to get back in. Because obviously, if I just reproduce 6 of them, the first person that comes back in would get it put in, and then what happens to the rest of them? So there's 6 different versions.
You
6 volumes.
Rose
really
says,
thought about
God,
that.
that's smart.
Rose says, Penny, you're a fan of fan fiction?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Oh my God. Have you read, okay, I read this one fanfic about it was based around and as you're going down the steps and she's starting to talk about a fanfic that she likes, you are interrupted as you are approached by a decrepit, gray-bearded dwarf in a custodial uniform, carrying a heavy square tome bound in black leather. So heavy that the weight of the book is causing this old dwarf to wheeze, squinting, he's clenching his teeth.
I want to help him carry it.
Before you can do that, before he can say
Indigestion.
anything, his knees buckle and he collapses with the book pressed underneath him.
Oh my God, I start trying to pick it up.
Wait, he's on
Yeah.
top of the book or the book?
He's on top of the book.
Oh, never mind.
Bowman's gonna pick him up and just do some lay on hands.
You flip him over. As soon as you try, you realize that the lay on hands don't work because he is dead.
I want to
I
open this
will
book.
Cast fucking hell.
Wait, he just died or he's an undead?
He just died.
Are you fucking kidding?
Revivify.
What is
Fucking
this
hell.
book?
You cast Revivify.
I'll give off a diamond.
You cast Revivify, but he does not come back to life.
What
you-
is this
you
book?
you get the sense as you cast this, as you cast Revivify, you get this. I'll get to answer your question in just a second. When you cast Revivify, you get the sense that the reason the spell failed is because his spirit is unwilling to return.
Oh.
Oh, that's bad.
So
The
I lost
book
300 gold and diamonds.
in question is this huge, thick black tome called
Nice.
Candlekeep Deconstruction. Replace every C with the letter K. And it is written by somebody named Isajar. On the front cover, you see images of smiling dwarves and a builder's hammer. And as you examine it, you see that there is a you're flipping through, you see that there are diagrams and descriptions of almost every building, every location in Candlekeep. You find that there's a bookmark on a certain page that has an unusual set of renderings. The bookmark has an unusual set of renderings for a tower known as the Barn Door. And on the facing page from that, you see a floor plan detailing the tower's lowest level, which seems to contain an array of odd mechanical devices.
Has anyone called for help?
Yeah, Bowman's
Excuse
gonna.
me, help!
An avowed comes like dashing up the steps. It's the same elf that was at the door. She
This wolf, he carried a book and it was heavy and he got a heart attack or something. We didn't do anything and he's dead and I tried to heal him, but he wouldn't come back.
metal, and that
Him?
Is that his
I
name?
don't,
that's his name.
I don't fucking, yeah.
Can I have the book?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Whoa.
Oh,
He
God,
died
that's
for
heavy.
this book.
Wait,
What
whose
about
book?
it? His body is right here.
Whose book is this and where is it going?
This is one of the books of the library.
Oh, can we have it? Can we look at it?
No.
Why
Why?
not? I thought we could get any book from the library.
There's a dead body between us right now.
Party, this is not new for
There,
us.
he should not have had this book in his possession. This book is from the restricted vaults. It's not meant to be
Restricted
viewed
section.
by outsiders.
Mm,
Hmm.
he was inside the library.
He shouldn't have had this book. I don't know what to tell you.
Listen, I'm
We
very
can't have
sorry. There's
No,
nothing-
nobody's supposed to look at this book except the great readers.
I'm very
No.
Does
sorry.
anybody have the
You
spell
see-
detect good and evil?
Detect thought?
No, I don't think
I'm
so.
just thinking, is this book evil or something?
I'm gonna
Like,
try.
did it cast us? Did it curse him to die?
What are you gonna try, Artemis?
I'm gonna try and like put a hand on this guy's shoulder. Like, I'm very sorry. The death of of this gentleman threw me off. There is a little hush hush arrangement. I'm afraid that's all I'm able to tell you right now. But there's an arrangement. I do have permission. I do need to see this book. The arrangements have been made. It is top level security. I'm very sorry you weren't included in it. We need to keep this.
Make a deception check.
Come on, baby. Come on, come on, come on. Okay. Decent. 27.
Do you have a written note from the great readers?
I asked for one, but because of the secrecy of this, it was recommended that no trace was left.
Rose sort of jumps in now and says, Bushati, you know that I'm a friend of Candlekeep and been working with Talus some. You trust me, right? The elf like nods and says, okay, well, just make sure you return it as soon as possible.
Yes. Should we summon you to return it?
Any of I suppose if you have something worked out with the great readers, you should return it to one of them.
We do, but now that you know,
I suppose.
if you do know, we shall contact you.
Oh, okay.
Thank you for your discretion.
Yeah, and Bushabi says, I'll have to grab a couple others so that we can see to the body.
May he rest in peace. Should we do a moment of silence For-
I bow my head.
Grushard?
Buron Sternmetal.
Exact stern metal.
You got close.
That's what she said.
I'm gonna gift of gab and then say the right name.
Great. Perfect use of gift of gab. Yes, a moment of silence.
All right, if you'll excuse us, we really do need to be going and take our book. Goodbye.
Yeah, you all like hurry down out of the building and hurry across to where it's like, I've got a room in the
We've got a suite.
great, let's go there. You all hurry to your suite.
Oh, this is beautiful.
Slam this huge heavy tome on like the table. Yeah.
All right. A man died to bring us this book. He died so much that he wanted to die. We are going to learn everything about this book.
How many pages is it?
A lot. I don't have a specific number. A lot of pages.
So because I have keen mind, would I be able to read through the entirety of this book tonight and recall everything in the book? So we don't have to bring it with us?
Quite possibly. You could try. You would not be able to take a long rest and would have a level of exhaustion tomorrow. Rose says, I think that given what just happened, we should talk to Tellus tonight if possible.
Because of Gildershard's death.
Is he going to want to take the book?
I mean, he's going to want to look into this, into what just happened. And you all are in tandem. I bet that if
Rose, that's not final.
it's in the newspapers.
I'm aware.
It's quite final. It's catching.
I bet that if we help Tellus solve whatever's going on here, he will lend the entire weight his title as Great Reader to helping you all find out what you need to find out.
Brilliant.
I wouldn't say brilliant, but okay.
Great reader. That means he's like the head honcho, not just that he's really like good at phonics or something.
No, so yeah, there are
Both.
the power structure in Candlekeep. There's the Keeper of the Tomes, which is basically the governor of Candlekeep. And then there's the first reader, who is sort of the head of the conclave of great readers, of whom there are, including the first reader, 9 total. So the 9 of them sort of oversee all the day-to-day operations of Candlekeep, and all of them are sort of masters in different fields of study. The first reader is a dragonborn known as Bookworm, spelled with a Y. And then there's Tellus of Oste, who I met and is the one who gave me permission, and who I was planning on us meeting tomorrow, but it would probably be good to talk to him tonight, given what just happened.
Sure. You don't think we need to write down what's in the book first? You trust him?
I trust him.
Well, either way, we have the bookmarked page that we saw, and I've got that. So we can always start with that if he takes a book.
Could we have Tellus meet us here? Or do we have to go to Tellus?
Why don't there are private meeting rooms in the Hearth? Why don't we meet with him in one of those? be at the hearth in, say, 15 minutes. I'll go get him and we can meet with him.
Sounds good.
Great.
I'm gonna, before she heads out, like catch her arm
Mhm.
and say, I do really appreciate you helping.
Of course. Happy to do so.
And I would like to insight check.
Make an insight check.
I feel so bad about this. 15.
Seems to be telling the truth.
Thank you. Let her go.
She leaves. Do you guys want to do anything while you're alone, or do you want to just go straight to meet with her and tell us?
Can we like flip through the book and see if there's anything? I don't know, like maybe focusing on cover pages, title and back cover.
Yeah, is there an index?
There is an index at the back. Yeah, it just has like the names of all the different towers in Candlekeep, and there are so many freaking towers in Candlekeep. It's impossible to, there's a lot.
Hmm.
There's a lot.
Does anybody else find it weird? And maybe I'm just reading into this a little too much. But, like, this dude died right in front of us, holding a book that shows where literally everything that was constructed is, and how to get into it, and how it works. Like, what?
Well, yeah, number one, we attract bad luck like no one else. If something bad and creepy is going to happen in Candlekeep, it's going to be the day that we get here. So there's
But,
that.
like, this is literally exactly what we need to find some shit that nobody can remember.
I will say it doesn't have, the book does not have listings of what books are in each
No,
tower.
sure, but
These
like,
are architectural diagrams.
if we're
Mhm.
trying to find a spot that nobody remembers is there, like frickin' Rose did, like she found a place that nobody remembered, like maybe it's in this book.
Yeah, which again,
I'm learning to be a person who goes with the flow of greater forces. It could either be something nefarious that's about to come try and eat us, or it could. There are a lot of forces at work that might be lending their hand to get us what we need.
That'd be nice.
Rose seems earnest. I mean, have we ever known her to fuck us over? Myself excluded.
Gross.
What is
Sorry, I just wanted to throw it because she's doing really well, and I just want to remind everyone that I hit that.
I do want to just say, I'm ignoring that. Maybe we don't tell Rose everything.
oh sure.
I think it would be in our best interest if we, kept some things to just the six of us. She doesn't have to know everything about where we're going and what we're doing and why we're doing it.
Although I do trust those inherently, keeping our cards close to our chest is a good strategy, especially when we're
also-
dealing with unprecedented things like a
Yeah.
disappearing kingdom.
And it could we don't even know what we're walking into. This could be for Rose's safety, not telling her everything that we're doing.
But I will say one thing: I will not lie to
Sure.
her.
Fair.
That's fair.
Well, withholding
I-
information isn't the same as lying.
I know.
Like, while we're all here, and if there is a sudden mist, you don't have to go into it.
Oh, I'm going head first.
That means the literal world to me, Bowmin. But you don't, all of you, you don't have to. I will probably be charging into it because I need to get Dagrin back, but
I'm with you,
you've
Artie.
already done a lot more over the last month than, frankly, you should for me. So
Well,
thanks.
We're gonna be late to our meeting.
who wrote this book? Can you repeat that name, Ben?
Yep. The book
Isajar.
it was written by someone named Isajar. Yep.
Isajar.
It's a
Isajar.
jar.
Replace
And
every
the-
C with the letter K.
The name of the book.
Thick.
So it's.
It's a thick book, CC.
I will send you the name of the book, and I will send you the name of the author.
Candlekeep deconstruction.
Feels like an aggressive word.
I like to think like it's just like a Lego manual, but in reverse.
Yeah, and the bookmarked page was about a tower called the Barn Door,
Oh.
which had the floor and in the floor plan of the lowest level, it had diagrams showing an array of odd mechanical devices, and details about those devices.
Like installed in the structure of the room,
Yeah.
or just like in the room.
No, installed in the room. Because it's an architectural diagram, so it wouldn't have anything that wasn't
You're
physically
totally right.
built into.
Hey, wait, are these architectural diagrams?
Yeah,
Oh. I didn't get that the first 3 times that we said it.
Well, clearly I didn't. So.
Great. Is there anything else you guys want to do with this book before you go?
Are we bringing it with us or are we leaving it?
Let's keep it in the hole, right? Bowmin,
Oh.
you have the hole?
Yeah. Put it in your pocket, Bowmin.
Do you currently have any one in the hole? I feel like that's a question I need
Vinny,
to
is
ask
Vinny
you.
in there?
Okay, first of all, that's gross. I cleaned out the hole recently, and no, I didn't
That's
have
very reassuring,
anyone
thank you.
in there.
Do you have multiple people in there?
Do you have
No,
big
Yeah,
people?
I can put the tome in the hole. To carry it around.
You did not answer that question.
I don't want
We're gonna Octavia said we're gonna be late. Oh no, that was Penny.
He doesn't even remember when I talked to him.
Maybe
With
he's
that,
got the curse.
You all leave the room. You make your way back down. As you exit the inn, and go across to the hearth, an earthquake
What the
causes
fuck?
all of Candlekeep to shudder, and then stops almost
Why?
immediately. The people milling around like gasp and like look around. You see the avowed are looking really, really nervous. And out the front door of the hearth, you see 3 people come out. You see
That's Armor
Rose.
Boykos.
Sure. You see Rose dash outside at the earthquake, as well as a human man dressed in sort of a very like nice very nice sort of suit, but it's heavily featuring purple colors, clearly related to Candlekeep. And they seem to run out together. A third individual runs out separately with them as well. This is a green scaled dragonborn wearing purple robes lined with gold, as they sort of dash out into the square. And Rose sees you all and says, "What was that?"
An earthquake?
book the dragonborn comes over, nods to the human man with Rose, says, "Tell us, and the rest of you, hello, tell us not, bookworm, pleasure, book." The dragonborn looks around and says, "There is something afoot in Candlekeep. Seen your pictures in the paper before."
I swear we didn't do it.
We literally just got here.
We just got here.
We didn't touch anything.
No, you saved Waterdeep.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's how you know us. Okay. Yeah, we
Yeah.
did. We did.
did do that. Yep.
Earthquakes?
Yeah,
Happen a
that's
lot?
common.
No, they are not common.
I was really hoping that was normal.
Hope you anchored your bookshelves.
Rose sort of jumps in and says, "These are some friends of mine. I was bringing them in to meet with Great Reader Talus about a matter. But if your first reader Ness would like to join the meeting as well, they could probably help you." Bookworm nods and says, "Yes. Heroes of Waterdeep. Maybe you can help me figure out what's happening in this library."
We can try.
Do things happen here? Just like weird things all the time, like earthquakes, dead people? Because everyone's really chill about a lot of like, I don't, in my experience, not normal things.
I understand. Yes, weird things happen here. Not every day, but with
You just get used to them.
yeah, I mean, we've got a lot of weird books, so some of them are magical. So anyway, let's talk about how we can help each other, shall we?
Yeah.
Bookworm leads the way back into the hearth to discuss with you all the next steps. And with that, we will end tonight's episode. Thank you all for playing. Thank you all for watching. And we'll see you next time. Have a good night.